Hear in his mind a man that is admired, fun, compassionate, understanding, and very sarcastic. But hey, that's who he is. The advice can either be good or misunderstood, but he does speak from experience. So sit back, listen up, volume up, and let's talk about it. Here's the icon.
Well, here we go again. How's everybody doing out there? Just letting y'all groove with this artist. Her name is Sarah, the Instrumentalist. She didn't have a lot of tracks, but the tracks she did have, they're mostly going to be playing at the beginning of the show. I want to welcome y'all to the show. My name is Icon. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's having a fantastic day. I know I am. Fantastic week. But hopefully everybody's doing all right. You know, I'm feeling good. The weather's good. The world's still crazy as shit, but hey, whatever. We got to get through this summer, all right? So, but you know me, I ain't the politician guy, so there's enough of that shit going around online. So you damn sure need to hear from me. You got 201 people that's tuning into politics, and I ain't one of them. But in any event, oh, I feel so good. Want to welcome y'all to the show. Trying to get back in the swing of things and get back on my mojo, get back on my grind. So, the crazy thing is my damn printer went out, So I'm going to be reading this email off my screen. What I usually like to do is take the emails, imprint them, and export them to the printer so I can read it, because I'm getting older and my eyes just ain't what they used to be. I ain't that old, damn it. But you know what I'm trying to say. I like to read from the paper. I like to look important. Like the news media. But I have a letter that came in anonymous. And like I said, when you guys email me, you can remain anonymous. However, there was no follow-up. There was a follow-up, but the email that it was sent from was deleted. So I hope this finds this person. This podcast finds this person, and I hope this is advice that I give you is sound mind advice, because this letter had quite some issues in it. Kind of not really weird, but I understand where this person's coming from, but we're going to get into that. So I entitled this podcast The Unhappy Employee. I'm not sure where this employee comes from or where this employee is at, but again, I'm going to read this off my screen. Bear with me. I got my vape and I got my juice, and we're going to get through it. So here we go. Yeah, and you'll make my phone going off, but I was trying to silence him, but I said the hell with it, whatever. This is good as gonna get. This is real as gonna get. Anyways, Icon, how are you doing today? I'm fine, thanks for asking. I just had been a rough day, and a good week, and it's a hot thing. Nah, just joking. I choose to remain anonymous due to what I'm about to tell you. Don't worry, I'm not confessing murder or something of that nature. Ooh, good thing you not, because I don't want nobody knocking at my damn door. Well, sir, you are a key witness to this. No, the hell I'm not. But I fear I will soon be caught. But here goes. I've been working for this company that shall be nameless due to the backlash you or I might receive. But I have been with this company for 2 years now, and it's retail. First off, I ain't gonna receive no kind of backlash, because this ain't got shit to do with me. I'm just a guy that's reading your letter. And then, but the person, they don't know who you are. So this could be 1 in a billion people in the world. Probably the United States, because this letter's so well written. Anyways, I've been with this company for 2 years. It's retail sales. At first, it started well, and I really didn't have any complaints or issues. Excuse me. But over the course of time, I started to get discouraged on how I was being treated by management. I wouldn't say that I'm a model employee, but in my mind, I was a good employee. And what I meant by that is that I was probably late more times than I should. But hey, what difference does it make if I'm getting the job done, right? No, not right. We'll get into that later. Well, in any event, I come to work, started out as a cashier. Within 4 months, I was promoted to assistant manager. I got a pay increase, and things were starting to look up, or so I thought. This place is like revolving doors. Some, if not most, employees usually don't make it past the 90-day period. I'm not totally sure what it's due. Could be the company or it could be management. I'm not sure. Well, with the shortage of workers, I've been pulling 50 to 60 hours a week. 50 to 60 hour shifts due to the store manager being out due to surgery. And that was fine in the beginning, but it's gotten to the point where I was ready to quit myself. But the DM talked with me and said whatever I wanted to make me stay. And asked me what I wanted to make me stay. So I asked for an increase in pay. She talked to the higher ups and they said it would be fine, so my pay was increased. I also asked for additional help, and that again worked out great, or so I thought. I feel that I have been overworked and very underpaid, so I threatened to quit, but this time it was a little bit different. Instead of more money, my PTO was increased from 2 to 4 weeks. Sorry, give me a second, just texting. My PTO was increased 2 to 4 weeks off. I thought that was good at the time, but again, wasn't feeling it. So I asked for more money, and they rudely said no because I'd already had a pay increase, and that was it. So of course, I got into my feelings. I wasn't having it. I felt I was owed money, so I would find a way to make it a difference. This shit don't sound good at all. With whatever and however I could. So I started dipping in the honey pot. And at first I was scared and nervous, but then knowing I could, first I was scared and nervous, but then knowing I could get away with it. So I started taking a little here and a little there, because I work hard and I feel that what I am owed, what I am due. I'm so tired of corporate greed when they're the ones doing all the work, when we are the ones doing all the work, and most of them don't have a clue as to what needs to be done. They sit behind a desk and bark orders and don't do nothing but numbers and money. They step on us like we're bugs, and they don't care. So why should I? I'll tell you that in a minute. I mean, what's the point of working for a company that doesn't appreciate their workers? Did you know I work from sun up to sundown? Meanwhile, the DMs and hirers get to go home and chill, relax, vacation, hang with their kids when they want. I'm sick and tired. It's been going on. I'm sick and tired. I am sick and I'm tired of it. When is it going to be enough for me to have a life I want? I'm sure that I'm wrong for what I did, but that time will come. The time will come when I take responsibility, but for now I will enjoy the ride because I still work for them and there's still no help. I'm stressed, and though I don't have kids, I do have a boyfriend, which I'm almost positive he's cheating on me because I'm never there. He brings me lunch and then he says he has to go really quickly. But that's another letter for you. Hell, at this point, he's having fun. My friends are having fun, and I'm stuck here at this place working my ass off. So again, I will get what's coming to me, and that's that. But maybe you understand, maybe you don't. But I want advice from you. You helped someone that I know a while back, and I listened to that podcast, and things turned around for them. I don't know if it'll turn around for me, but at this point, I'm willing to risk it all. I know you've had some jobs that you didn't like, and you decided to get even, so please share your thoughts with me. Well, I gotta say, this letter is not like any letter that I've ever had. Quite different. Not only you are admitting a confession of guilt and a crime. I mean, well, a crime of theft, but I don't know. I guess this is why you choose to remain anonymous, and it's probably a good thing why you did, because I don't like to get in shit. I don't like to get involved in shit like that. In any event, going back through your letter, you work for this company for 2 years, and you was promoted within an assistant manager within 4 months, and you got a pay increase. That's good. I gotta say, if you felt that you weren't adequately sufficient in your pay raise, I probably would have asked for more. Either I would have asked for more or I would have walked. Plain and simple. You've been pulling 50 to 60 hours a week. Damn, because I don't pull that much. Well, I pull that with one job, but that's because the pay is good and I love the work that I do. Now, the second job is probably about 20 to 25 hours a week. So roughly total, I may be working 70 hours a week, but still a little time because I have 2 days off back to back. I can understand your frustration, but then again, I kind of can't, because I think that if you're working in a place and you want to be happy, you have to find that happiness that makes you happy. I agree with some of the things that, you say in this letter, that you're tired of corporate greed. Well, here's the thing about corporate greed. Not all companies operate the same. All companies are different. Now, I know that in some companies where you see like the big wigs or the owner may come down and they don't pay attention to the workers, but they pay attention to the management. And why is that? I don't know, especially since we're the ones who make their companies go round and we're the ones who make the money. Now, everybody has a difficult job to do in the corporate world. Now, I know that when we see these people, these corporate people, and yes, I do feel the way that some do like to bark orders. For those of you who are wondering, I don't work for a corporate company. My second job is a corporate company. My first job is owned independently. So, as I said before, I work for companies that are owned like either locally or individually by either a family or a person. Why? Because I think they know how to treat their people. And the companies that I have worked for, have treated, not corporate companies, but independently owned companies. They treat their employees with respect and they understand it. Now, I may have had maybe one or two in my lifetime that was a family owned company that didn't treat me well, but I just left, you know. As some of you might know, my last job, that my pay had dropped significantly in pay. I was making $25 an hour, and then they dropped me to 19 because they lost the contract. And I had been with this company for 6 years. And they had the money, they had the work, they had the money, but my pay gets dropped because they lose a contract. And the contract wasn't because of me. It was because somebody else came in and bid, and they gave them, a discount on what they can do and what they can do. So I didn't choose to get even with that company. I just choose to go serve my talents where they were better served. And that would be at another company, which is what I felt you should have done. Now, I understand you getting in your feelings, but let me tell you something. If a company increases my PTO from 2 to 4 weeks, you best believe I'm going to try to make the best of it if I can. If I can. Now, you say this company is like revolving doors, so it sounds like you know the outs and ins of the way this company works. And with that being said, you're choosing to do something that you know is not right, that you can ultimately get caught for. You didn't say if this company had cameras, and let me tell you something. Just because we think we can get away with it doesn't mean we should do it. Because karma does come around. What goes around comes around. And when you get caught, then you're left looking stupid like, well, I didn't think I was going to get caught. Trust me, in the end, everybody gets caught. Now, I am not one to indulge and say, well, what you did was right, because I think what you did was wrong. And what if you started different in the honeypot, that means you're stealing money for the company. I don't give a shit how bad a company treats me. I would never resort to stealing money or anything from that company, because why? They have bigger people than you do. Okay? This is what their litigators do. They do this shit for a living, and they have a fun time doing it. They can wreck your life and make your life a living hell. Why would you risk that? Why would you want to risk that? I wouldn't. I mean, we've all had shitty jobs. We've all had companies that we didn't like. We've all had people that we didn't like to work for. And we either did one or two things. We either suck it up and we do the job, or we quit. Plain and simple, we quit. But never would I stoop to a level to stealing money. I stole once when I was younger. And that was when I was, I don't even think I was a teenager yet, but I was a new and up and coming teenager. And I stole something, like I said, that I thought resembled a pager, but it was like a heart monitor from Walmart. And I got to tell you, my mom liked to whoop my ass and wrung my damn neck. I didn't steal again. I didn't. It's just not in my nature. So you talking about, you're upset with the corporate people because the DM and hired us to go home and chill. Well, yeah, that's true. Listen, I've been in jobs where, like I said before, the corporation or the company would come down and they don't say too much to the little people, but they want to talk to their people, which is management. Why is that? And I'm not saying all companies are like this, because you have some companies that pay attention to their people. Now, me personally, I don't mind meeting these people, but I know what they come there to do. Some come there to get straight to the point and talk business. They don't give a shit about you or anything but the numbers and the money. And that's some companies. I'm not speaking for all companies. Companies that I've worked for, I've seen. Like, I used to work for Rent-A-Center, and the CEO, which was Mark Speece at the time, came to our store and looked at us like we were just his servants. And I get it. You have some corporate people or some CEOs that think that you are beneath them. But some understand and some don't understand that we are the ones who make your company go around. We are the ones on the front line. We're the one taking the shit, and you're not. Anybody can call a corporate number and corporate can pick up and they can listen to them. But when it all comes down to it, they're not on the front lines. And I get it. I definitely get it. So, but that doesn't deter me from me being me. If I'm at a company and I don't like the way things are going, I'm going to find my way out. If I'm there and I like my job, I will try to either use their open door policy. I think the open door policy sometimes is good and sometimes it's just not good. And what I mean by that, there are some companies that take that shit seriously. Other companies, like there was a company I used for using open door policy where they went right back and told the lot manager, he gets an attitude and comes back down and talks to the employee and say, well, why did you call them when you could have just talked to me? That's not an open door policy, because an open door policy should be that you should be able to remain anonymous. And then that gets filtered down to your regional or your DM. Then your DM has to talk with that manager or that store manager or the lot manager, whoever in power, and say, hey, this is what's going on. We have a complaint against employee that's saying that you're doing this, and this, that, and the other. Now, I experienced that. I went over a store manager's head when I was working for a company, and the backlash I received is that I got fired like maybe months later for inappropriate use of a discount card. But I don't give a shit, because he got served his papers too, because apparently he was embezzling. So while I think that what you're doing is completely 100% wrong, I think in the end you're going to get caught. I don't know if you choose to keep going this route, because it's not going to end well. You know, people that get caught embezzling, it might be a short amount. You may not be taking 100 here or 100 there. You might be taking small amounts, but in the end, that shit adds up. So what I'm telling you is that you're talking about you're going to be along for the ride. You don't have kids, which is good. You're saying you're willing to risk it all. I wouldn't, because companies like, if you work for a big outfit, they can make your life a living hell. They can fix it so you don't work in the same city, same state. This shit will follow you around. So my suggestion to you is to stop. Stop. If you're stressed out behind a job that you don't like anymore, this is what you do. You continue to do that job until you find something better. But never take your frustration out on a company that can pretty much squash you like the bug that you are, or that you would be. I'm not calling you a bug. That's just what they're going to think of you. Because you got to remember, if you steal from a company and they put you in jail, they go after your damn livelihood because they have a point to prove, and they have people that do this shit for a living because they have a point to make. So I've seen companies do that, you know. I've seen companies wreck people, you know, all over a little, maybe, well, shit. I mean, let's be honest. Let's say hypothetically that you're stealing $1,500. Hypothetically that you're stealing that. Well, companies like that just go after this shit for the hell of it. They're going to eat you up in litigation. They're going to put on court costs and fines. You're going to end up paying all this money. Is it really worth it to you to do that? Then not only that, it's going to be on your record. Is it really worth that? It's not. It really isn't. You know, you're talking about you're a model employee and you're late to work. Don't give people a reason to not dislike you, but to come down on you. If you find a job that you like, be the best person that you can be. If you feel that the job is not being supportive of you, it's simple. Find someplace else to go. You don't have to stay there and keep taking it, but never in my life would I resort to stealing something from a company because I feel I'm owed a higher wage. You might be owed a higher wage, but you know what you do? You go find that company that's willing to risk taking a chance on you, and you prove yourself to that company so you can get the wage. I think the thing is that's hard for most of us, most of y'all, because it ain't hard for me. I think that when we're in a job and we're comfortable, we get complicit and we get complacent. And then even though we know that job is doing wrong, we don't want to go somewhere and start all over. But that's what happens. You can't come in off the bat unless you're highly recommended and your resume speaks for itself. You can't come in here demanding what you should get paid. They want to see what they're investing in. I'm going to give you an example. And yes, that example is me. Mostly all retail jobs that I've been in, or any job that I have been in, for the exception of some, I come in, I show up to work. I don't showboat, I don't show out, I show up. When I go in there and I put my work down, my work speaks for itself. I get looked at almost within maybe 2 weeks to a month of being management. Now, the second job that I have now, my resume was highly qualified to be a manager, a store manager. But I didn't want to be a store manager. I just wanted to go to work. The only reason why I became an assistant manager is because the store manager I work for, she's a very good woman. And we had lost other managers due to our other manager being out. But I had came in here and, I'm a quick learner. I like to go to work. I don't like to be late if I don't have to. But almost any job that I'm in, I immediately get looked at for management. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not bragging on myself. I'm confident in what I do. I'm confident in the work that I do. I'm confident of my ability to do the job. And when you do that, and when you prove yourself to these people, then that's when the money starts rolling in. I had gotten a raise. I was happy about that. But again, this is not my bread and butter. My primary job is where I make my money, and I love that job. And I'm not leaving that job for anything. I was asked if I thought about, becoming a store manager. I was like, no, not really. Because I don't really want the responsibility. I don't like when, I don't like being barked at over things that I can't control, but they want me to control. So there's certain aspects of the business that you can't control that they expect you to control. Like if you're in retail sales and your sales are down, why are your sales down? It's just not one person. It could be the store as a whole. It could be anything. It could be inventory issues. It could be problems with this. It could be co-worker. It could just be the environment that you're placed in. So when you prove yourself to these people, then that's when things start happening. But you don't start taking things into your own hand and saying, well, I'm going to get what I'm owed. You're not only going to get what you're going to get owed, but you're going to get what's coming to you. And though you think this ride is a good ride, this ride ain't going to last forever. I can tell you that right now. Excuse me. Lord, it's good. So, excuse me. I know sometimes in life, we get a little bit jealous of what people have because we don't have it. I don't get that way. I mean, when I'm at my first job and I pull to these monstrosities of houses and thinking like, damn, why do I not have that? I don't think that. I'm happy for the people and what they have. Let me tell you something. I delivered a dumpster to a house that was worth $4.2 million. I've never seen a house worth $4.2 million. And the damn wall looked like was marble. It had the marble, the animals on there. I mean, this thing was like fit for a king. But I wasn't jealous of that. Listen, I don't know where people got to where they are in their success. I wish them well and I wish them happiness. Do I wish it was me? Not really. I'm happy with the life that I have. I don't need to be rich to be happy. All I need is my family and, well, I ain't got no friends, so I ain't got no friends. But, well, maybe the people I work with. But most of all, my family. I'm not one to sit back and see if somebody has something nice, I need to go for it and try to get like them, because that's not me. I'm going to continue to work for me and my family. Though I play the lottery, maybe one day I win, maybe one day I won't. But that doesn't stop me from saying, well, they got this, why can't I have it? Why would I want to try to take something from somebody when I can just work for it? Now, even though some of us may feel our lives didn't turn out the way that we had hoped and expect, and we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth, that's the hand you get dealt. And I gotta say, some people go out there and they make a life for themselves or a situation for themselves because they work hard at it. And that's fine. And that's good. But never would I want to sit back and try to steal from anybody, because it's just not who I am. It's not fair. It's not right. It's downright malicious and mean. I don't understand why people steal. I don't. We see these videos of people going to stores, taking out bags of stuff, and then we wonder why the stores get closed down. This is exactly why. Because you feel that you're owed something that you don't want to pay for. If the whole world was owed something, we wouldn't be a world. We'd be in chaos. We'd be in turmoil. We'd be going at each other's throat. It would definitely be the Walking Dead up in here. It really would. So, there are some DMs and some higher ups that come in and talk to their people and they praise their people. And you have some good people in corporate. Not everybody in corporate is an asshole. They're not. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. If you come to me, you talk to me respectfully, I'm going to talk to you respectfully. And we may get, I'm not going to say we, y'all may get jealous of the fact that they have these jobs and that they've never seen the inside of a place where you work. And I still believe that. I think that when you're in corporate, you may not even shop at the same place. You may not even see the inner workings of what your store is. You sit behind a desk all day. And I got to say, listen, so what infuriates me about my second job that I work for is the inventory. The inventory is through the roof. It's ridiculous the way the inventory is ordered. There's no inventory control, and they expect us to push out merchandise and keep pushing out. Well, we stock our shelves, and we stock our shelves good, but we're not a sales force. We're a retail company, meaning we can't go out and have people come in and we can't harass you and say, oh, well, you buy this because this is good and this is great. So the inventory is an issue for me. I don't like it, but I still love the people that I work with and I work for. And I try to do the best that I can when I do my job. So and that's the one grievance that I have with the place with my second job. Other than that, I love the people I work with. I love the company I work for. I think some things that they do are kind of malicious because to me, and this is my opinion, sometimes people in corporate just don't have enough to do besides just sitting around and barking orders. Now, I don't think they're all like that, and I'm not down in the company that I work for, but I think that as a company, if you really want to see the inner workings of your company, I think that most corporate people should at least get out maybe get out for 2 weeks in a company and work and see what we go through. Because we are the ones that make these companies go around. Without people, then there wouldn't be, half these companies wouldn't even exist. Some people would still be doing it on their own. And when you come that big of a conglomerate of a company, well, I would say that you'd hope you would treat your people right. Now, I know that hopefully I have some DMs or some high ups that maybe listen to my show. I'm not downing or disrespecting anybody. I'm not. Because I think that what goes on in some of these companies, a lot of the core people don't really know. And here's the thing. If you're too big of a company where you can't really know the inner workings of each of your location, I don't know how you fix that. I really don't know. You have a DM. You have a regional, but they can't even fix it. Sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. But what can you do? I tell you what I can do. I can go to work, I can show up, and I can continue to do my job. Nothing makes me feel more satisfying than doing the job that I love. If you don't like your job, change it. Do something different. And find something that makes you happy. Why be stuck in a place? Listen, if the company has a revolving door, it probably is management. It's probably the lack of management. It's probably the lack of, and you understand, management has to lead by example. The thing that when I made management in any job that I also have, I make sure to treat the people that's underneath me with respect. I want to treat them like an equal. And 95% of the time that works. So if you have a company that has a revolving door, well, it's definitely management. It could be management. It could be the way the store looks. It could be the way the store's ran. But if you're saying you're running the store in absence of the store manager, then I think that might be you. I don't know when this problem started. Don't know how it started. But if you have this attitude of, I don't care, y'all do what the hell I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. Well, then your coworkers are going to follow by that example. They're going to come to work, show up, get paid, not give a damn, and then they're going to leave and do it all over again. Meanwhile, you're suffering because you're working 56 hours a week. It doesn't really have to be that way unless everybody's on the same page. If everybody's on the same page and we're working together as a team, then you can kind of curb that. Let me tell you something. If I'm working 50 to 60 hours at a company and that's not my regular shift, and that's not what I'm supposed to do, you best believe I'm going to have a talk with somebody, because I have a home life. Just like they have a home life, I have a home life too. I don't want to be stuck at a company for 50 to 60 hours a week and I not have a life. I'm sorry if your boyfriend's cheating on you. I really am. But I need to have some me time. And corporate people, they have me time. I've yet to see anybody from corporate work that many hours a week. I can't even fathom that. Not unless you're in the stock markets or you're an attorney or something like that. Then I can understand. But in a retail, no, I ain't buying that. I ain't buying it. So this is what I would tell you, Anonymous. I would have a talk with the people. What I would first do, I would stop taking money from the honeypot. Because if you think you don't get caught, you will. And if you see somebody that you ain't never seen before that's related to corporate, like I'm going to say loss prevention, and she comes in, or like if you know, okay, so if you know who your DM is, right? And you talk to her, and if she comes in with a person that you've never seen before, and this is what I always tell people. If you see your DM come in with somebody that's unknown and they have a corporate and they have a badge around their neck, it doesn't say loss prevention, I automatically assume it's going to be loss prevention. Because when loss prevention show up, they don't dick around, they don't play. I was fired from Rent-A-Center for paying on a customer's bill, and they thought I created a ghost account. I was fired for doing the right thing for a customer because we were told to go pick this thing up from the customer, and this customer was a lifelong dedicated customer to Rent-A-Center, a lifelong dedicated customer. And I was told to pay. I said, no, I'll just go ahead and pay it off. But yet I get crucified for that. Was I mad? A little. Did I get upset? No, because when she come in, she tried to give me this bullshit of, well, they try to do that reverse psychology bullshit to get you to admit guilt. But I told her, okay, I paid off a customer's account. It's not a ghost account. So I got fired. Was I mad? Not really. I already had another job lined up. I had things in the works, so I wasn't really too mad. Did I have to pay the money back? No, because the money went onto a customer's account. It was my money. And how can a company tell you what you can and can't do with your own damn money? But I wasn't mad. It didn't want to make me, because here's the thing. When they did that, I think, what was it, maybe 2 weeks later, I was coming home from a shift, and I think the road was, I don't know what was going on, but anyways, I ended up at the back of the store, and you can see the back of the store from the road. Well, the back door was open, but on this particular door, there's no alarm. So I could have easily took my revenge, went in there and went shopping. There were no cameras in the back room. I could have called somebody and been like, hey, the store is open, let's go shopping. But I didn't do that. I called the store manager and I said, listen, your back door is open. It's the one that's unarmed, that doesn't have an alarm on it. It's wide open. I'm sitting here looking at merchandise. And he was like, well, can you stay there until I get there? I said, sure, I'll stay here. He said, "Well, have you been in the store?" I said, "No, I don't work here anymore. Why I don't even feel the need to go in." So he came up, he thanked me. He said, "Man," he said, "most people would have just stole." I said, "Well, I'm not most people. That's not me." He said, "But you were fired." Yeah, I was fired. But do I feel the need to take out my anger and aggression on Rent-A-Center by stealing some stuff? No, hell no. And I could have made off like a fat cat, but I didn't, because that's not who I am. And that shouldn't be the mindset of people. I think the problem is today is that social media plays a part in this. If you're not doing wrong, well, hang on, let me make sure I get this right. When you quit a job, quit the damn job. Don't post it on social media. Don't go to this big, "Oh, I'm going to go in here, we're going to make some kind of thing." It's not a big thing. Quit the damn job and move on, because you're only hurting yourself. And then when you hurt yourself and you're not able to get a job at another place, and then you're trying to figure out, well, why? What did I do? Well, you remember that post that you made about you quitting? Yeah. Because let me tell you, the internet is a very dangerous world when you are looking for a new job. Because you have some companies that will check your social medias just to see that the person that they're hiring is the person that they want. Now, I keep all my shit private, but then again, I don't really do anything besides this podcast and just post about maybe positive videos or maybe some outfits that I try on or some outfits that I wear. But that's just me. So, Anonymous, I hope this podcast finds you well. Because even though what you feel that you're doing is being justified, it is not. You will get caught. And when you get caught, you're going to be pissed off. My advice to you is to stop. Stop, think. You don't like the job, if you're still at the job, go find another damn job that you can be happy with. We have to navigate the work world. Sure, we're going to go through a lot of jobs that we don't like, but eventually the right one will come along. And when the right one comes along, then we can be happy. But you don't want to risk doing anything to jeopardize your future. Because when you jeopardize your future, then you're going to be like, well, where did I go wrong? You got to learn your instrument. Then you practice. Then when you finally get up there on the bandstands, forget all that and just wild out. You can be successful. You can do anything that you put your mind to, but don't let something like this hold you back. Because if something like this goes on your record, it's going to be very, very, very hard for you. And you don't want to be known as that person. So it doesn't matter if you move from city to city, state to state, it's going to be on there. People are not going to trust you. And even though they may ask you what your reasoning is for doing it, and you may or may not tell them, if you don't tell them, they'll be suspect. If you do tell them, they're still going to be suspect. So answer me this, Anonymous. Would you rather have this record on your background, or would you just rather just say, hey, I'm going to go find something better and different? And please feel free to email me with the follow-up. I really want to know. I do. But two wrongs are never going to make it right. If you feel that you're just not happy in this job, just find something that can make you happy. Don't risk your future. Don't risk your livelihood for something like this. You don't have kids now, so you say, that's a good thing. That is. Either you're young, or I'm assuming that you're young. I am. And not young as in teenage, but new, but early 20s, maybe mid 20s. So I'm going to assume that you haven't had a lot of work experience in the work world. So you might be new to this thing, and that's fine. But young people, this is what I'll say to you. When you're starting out in the work world, a new work world, everything is not going to go your way. You're not going to get your way. This is the way of the world. Back in my day, we were just happy to get a decent wage and work. And I know things are different from when I was coming up, because now you have social media. Well, we didn't have that shit back in the day. We didn't. So when we need to complain to somebody, we need to complain to family or friends or sometimes co-worker. Now you got the whole power of the internet, social media, and this lovely thing called podcasting. So I would encourage you to reevaluate your life. Think about what you're doing. Think about what you should do that is right. Thank God you don't have kids, because heaven forbid you should get caught and you get taken to jail. Because I don't know what people do. Like I said, some companies like to make an example out of people. Some companies like to be like, well, you know what? We're going to make an example of her. That way they can talk about it at their events. I mean, they may not use your name directly, but you got to figure somebody will know you. And if you do, excuse me, if you do decide to quit, don't post it. Don't do no live video. Just do the thing graciously and amicably. Give your 2-week notice. You know, if you're looking for another job, let your company there and say, hey, listen, I appreciate my time here, but I feel that what I'm getting is still not fair. But I'm going to look for other employment. And either one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to bid you farewell and wish you well, or they're going to give you a raise. But let me explain something to you. Two years is good with the company. I get that, and I understand that. I understand you want more money. We all want more money. But you got to get a little bit more experience under your belt. It sounds like you were promoted within, and I don't know if you have any other management experience because you didn't say any of that. But when you make your way in a company and you're able to move up the not really the corporate ladder, but move up in the steps as far as ranking money, well, do that. But if you don't, if you want to keep saying, I need this and I need that, that's going to be a problem for them. Because we all know any of us can get replaced by any given time. Some companies in some states have, what is that law? They have, I forgot the name of this damn thing. No fault law at will state, which means you can be terminated at will and there's no explanation needed. So I would be careful if I was you. If you're getting the money now and you're getting 4 weeks paid vacation, why don't you do yourself a favor and see what you can do to make your job better, your life better, and the company that you work for better? Why not do that? Why not talk to your DM and say, hey, listen, I need to see if we can get some people in here so we can do what's right. Why not, again, reevaluate, do some things different. Instead of trying to be the problem, solve the problem. Don't make yourself the problem. So you got to be smart about this. You really do. Oh God, this vape is good. Anonymous, once you start doing all these things, I guarantee you'll see a difference. But don't go through life thinking that you're owed anything. You continue to work hard, in time it will pay off. And when it pays off and the reward is good, you're like, oh my God, yeah, this, and it's not the fact of me being right. It's just the fact of me giving you advice to say, hey, don't do what you're doing. Don't go down that road. Don't go down that path. Do you really want that on your record? And I know I keep saying that because I'm trying to emphasize that it's never fun when you either get caught stealing, because it makes your search for a job harder. And you'll be lucky to be getting either a factory or a janitor job. And is that the job you want? Do you want to work for pennies and be treated with disrespect? I knew a guy that I didn't know when I was working with him. He was a sex offender. He was a convicted sex offender. And I mean, they treated this guy not really like totally shit, but he had issues. And it seems to me that he still didn't learn because he was filthy. And he had did some shit that I heard that I wasn't too happy about. And I honestly didn't like to work with the guy. I really didn't. But he had later gotten fired because he was dirty and he was nasty. And one day he came to work and his clothes were covered in bed bugs. He was so immune to this shit that they had to close down the warehouse and the office and fumigate. Was I sad to see him go? Not really. Because knowing what he did and what landed him the way that he did, and it sounds like he would have done it again. But I'm not judging him. I mean, thank God that where we worked at, there was no kids around for him to either look at or either say things. So it's a warehouse. But it's what it is. It's whatever. So you have to find your way in life. Find your way in life. Do what is beneficial to you. If this is affecting your home life, well, you got to change some things around. You got to do things different. Your boyfriend, on the other hand, I can't speak to that. I don't know. again, you don't have any kids. So if this job is putting that much stress on you, and you guys don't understand, if a job is stressing you out so bad, that can weigh on your health. When it weighs on your health, it starts taking a toll on you. Now, I'm 47 years old. I only have one gray hair that I can see. But I get compliments every day that you're 47? You sure don't look it. Because I don't let stress get to me. If there's a way I can work something out, I'm going to work it out. If there's a way for me to talk it out, I'm going to talk it out. I'm not going to resort to violence, threats, or anything that could hurt me potentially in the future. Because actions have consequences. And when they have huge consequences, then you're left looking like stuck like Chuck, like, again, what did I do? What did I do wrong? So, Anonymous, as we get ready to wrap this up, I hope that you really reconsider what you're doing. Stop stealing money. And I know if some people are listening to this and they work in retail, they're going to try to figure this out. I don't know who this person is. Don't email me because there's no name. There's just an email and the email address, which is already gone. Because I try to try to do a follow-up with some questions, but that thing came back, the emailer is unavailable or is no longer listed. So clearly this person who was doing this had every intention of covering their tracks. And that's fine. Because on my show, you can remain anonymous. As long as you ain't confessing murder, then we good to go. Because I don't read shit like that. If I read shit like that, then they're going to be looking at me like, and trying to get my computer and spoof my computer and figure out, well, where did it come from? We can pull that information out. I don't want no parts of that. So in any event, as we get ready to close it out, if you guys are ever going through something you want to talk to me about it, let's talk about it. You can feel free to email me at d6empire357.com. You can follow me on all social medias except Facebook and Snapchat because I don't have those. Well, I got Facebook, but I don't really post on it that much. I'm on TikTok, IG, the B, me, and not joking. But I was on Blue Sky, but I got off of Blue Sky. But as I said again, I'm just getting back in the swing of things. I moved, I'm happier. Things are looking up. I feel good about life, and everything is in its place, you know? So no matter what people do to us, it's how we respond to the people that do things to us. We got to think about our actions. We got to think about it. Do we really want this problem, or do we want to solve the problem? And for me, I'm all about solving problems. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you do like me. I'm going to solve the problem. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get attitude. I'm not going to try to make something out of nothing, because that's not who I am. As a person, I want to instill upon my kids and myself that I can be that bigger person, that better person. You know, we see a lot of videos out here when we go to work and we see coworkers getting into it over the most stupidest shit in front of customers. Now, I admit I've gotten into it with a coworker, but I kept it 100 and I kept it real. I kept it classy. I kept it to a level of respect and a level of decency. Never would I get up in a coworker and just put them on blast. So, and I hope that doesn't happen to you. I hope they don't take you out in cuffs for the world to see. Because again, depending on how much you steal and what you steal, I can't speak for every company. Every company is different. If a company feels that you owe them money back plus interest and the VIG, then hey, they're going to get their money. Oh yeah, they're going to get their money. They definitely going to get it. So you have to make the decision. You have to be smart. So again, I would encourage you to find something that is good for you. Find something that is less stressful. If it's affecting your home life, I'm not saying quit tomorrow. I'm saying don't quit unless you have a backup. I mean, unless you got rich parents, and that's a different story. But I don't know. Because again, this letter's anonymous. But if you have something that you might want to do and want to start to doing, because you gotta look at it this way. Think of this. What if you had your own company and people started stealing from you? Well, they would think the same way you think. Oh, we feel like you owe. I'm owed this, and I'm gonna get it. So, but you just got to be smart about things. You know, as people in these jobs, we shouldn't take things like this into our hand. I seen a video where a guy got fired and he took a forklift and he just tore up the warehouse. Why would you do that? They're going to come after you anyways. You tearing up product, you tearing up equipment. Just walk out. You got fired. Leave. And I understand some of these people that's been in these jobs that's got tenure, and some of these jobs are, it's your heart and soul. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and you're happy about what you're doing. But remember this, for every job, the job that you have, there's always another job, even in that same field, that you can do. I see a lot of this stuff on social media, and I don't like it, and I don't comment on it. I just think it's just stupid. Instead of just tearing up stuff, why not just walk out? Because when you walk out, you get to go home, you get to be happy, you get to wake up and find another job. And from what I hear now, companies can't really give a specific reason on either why you were terminated or why you quit. Well, the only thing they can ask if you're rehireable. Some say yes, some say no. But you don't want that. So here we go, people. We're getting ready to close this thing out. Anonymous, I hope the best for you. I really do. I hope that you find your way in life. I hope that all good things come to you in a good way. I hope that you're able to find some kind of balance within yourself. I hope that you're able to find a job that you like and that you love, and that you can just be happy with. But if you don't think you're going to get caught, you're going to get caught. Nobody stays on top forever. Choose yourself even when it's hard. Never forget how far you've come, everything that you have gotten through, all the times you've been pushed on and even felt you couldn't. All the mornings you got out of bed, no matter how hard it is, all the times you wanted to give up, but got through another day. Never forget how much strength you have learned and developed along the way. A positive attitude gives you power over your circumstances, instead of your circumstances having power over you. Remember that. If life has taught me anything, it's taught me that I'm always in control. Life is full of experiences, lessons, heartbreak, and pain. But it also has shown me love, beauty, possibilities, and new beginnings. I embrace all that. It makes us who we are. After every storm that comes is a clear sky. Remember that. Tough times don't last forever. Tough people do. So, I want to say thank you to my listeners. Thank you for tuning into the show or listening to this show. Again, d6empire357@gmail.com is where I'll be taking your letters. Feel free to write me. You got any comments, complaints, gripes, or if you just want to talk about something, let's talk about it. I'm still looking for somebody to co-host a show with me. Maybe you can come on the show. We can do either online or a call or whatever. We can talk about things. I am just now getting ready to navigate the world of TikTok and try to do a live show. I'm going to try. Keyword is try. Don't know how good it's going to go, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. So, until next time, I want you guys to take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you. We're going to leave you with the last track with Sarah, the instrumentalist. It's going to be called On the Way, because I'm on my way. In any event, I wish you guys the best. Hopefully you have a good day, a good week. Until next time, take care of yourself.
Thank you for listening to the show. You can follow Icon on Instagram or TikTok. Links are in the description. Feel free to email Icon at d6empire357@gmail.com for questions or topics you wish to discuss. Previous episodes are listed on YouTube at Endeavor Empire,